Welcome back. The big story that we're tracking today is that the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, IRDA, has given its go-ahead to Axis Entities' stake acquisition in Max Life Insurance. With this, Axis will become a joint venture partner in Max Life. Yash has been tracking the story very closely, joins us in with the details. Yash.
Well, Rima, it's been about 10 months of waiting for both companies, Axis Bank and Max Life Insurance, to get this crucial approval from the insurance regulator. And finally, they have it from the IRDA, a go-ahead as far as the transaction between the two companies is concerned. To speak about the structure, Axis Entities, which is Axis Bank, Axis Capital and Axis Securities, would be acquiring a total of 19% stake. Out of that 19%, 9% will be acquired by Axis Bank, 2% will be acquired by Axis Securities, and balance 1% will be acquired by Axis Capital. The balance 7% stake would again be acquired by Axis Entities, which are these three companies, in about the next few years. Now, as far as the deal is concerned, now they have all the regulatory approvals and they can move towards concluding this particular transaction. One thing which I want to point out here is Max Financial and the valuation which it has and compares to other insurance companies. Now, if you look at Max Financial, it trades at about FY21 estimated price to embedded value of 2.6 times as compared to ICICI Prudential Life of 2.8 times, SBI Life of 2.7 times and HDFC Life of almost 5.8 times. So you see Max Financial in terms of valuation aspects is very cheap in terms of the pegging order in the life insurance companies, and it's because of these reasons that various brokerages after this IRDA approval have showed their conviction into the company, raised their target price. Some of them include CLSA, Jefferies, Nomura, getting bullish on Max Financial and raising their target price for the company.
Okay, let's get a couple of analysts here right now. Jigar Mistry is co-founder of Buoyant Capital. He's owned Max in his fund for a long time. He's been super bullish. Prayesh Jain of Yes Securities is joining us as well. Gentlemen, thanks very much. Jigar, finally we have the approval from IRDA. What next?
A lot of things next, Prashant. Good morning. So, see, you track it back and look where Max had come from, right? Starting 2001 being the weakest brands to have entered. And since then, it has caught up to almost 10% now. Now, Axis forms almost 55 to 60% of the total APE for Max. And it has already been among the fastest growers in the Indian insurer spaces. Going forward, I think the insurance industry itself looks reasonably well. With Axis management coming in, the board, I think, would get restructured. So the integration will improve even further. And we have already discussed in the past how Max's the channel business, the agency channel business is actually doing much, much better. So I think it can continue to grow faster than the industry. It's still a smaller player relative to the other ones that Yash mentioned. But I think there's still interesting times beyond the deal. As far as fundamentals are concerned, we can talk about some other technical aspects as well, if you like.
Yeah, sorry.
Prayesh, what is the valuation multiple one must ascribe to it now?
Yeah, so the thing is, one more aspect of the deal which is left right now is the reverse merger, which is the eventual goal. Max Life being merged into Max Financial Services. So, sorry, the reverse with the Max Financial Services being reverse merged into Max Life. So that is some time away. So till that time, I think the Max Financial Services will continue to hold around the 80% stake in this entity, 80-85% stake. So there will be a holding company discount which will be given to Max Financial Services, and anywhere between 2.5 to 2.8 times for FY23 price to EV can be valued. Can be a good multiple for Max Financial Services.
Okay, Prayesh and Jigar, stay with us. My colleague Yash also has a bunch of questions. So we take that quick break and come right back to the both of you.
Welcome back. We are back with our discussion with the two guests on the Max Life Axis Bank deal, Prayesh Jain and Jigar Mistry. My first question is to Prayesh. Prayesh, help me understand, as far as the quality of business is concerned, in the order of life insurance companies, Max Life is currently the fourth company in terms of the business parameters. The quality which you've been seeing in the last 6 months, in the last 1 year, At this point, can we compare it to the quality, let's say, of an HDFC Life or something like an SBI Life? And if yes, then what should be the valuation comparison also in these two companies?
One of the few of the parameters which we look at is your APE growth, your VNB margins, and your ROEV. On all these three parameters, Max has outperformed even the likes of HDFC Life in the past 6 to 8 months. In the past 3 quarters, they have been delivering a very strong performance, and it's significantly better than both SBI Life and ICICI Pru Life, for that matter. So yeah, it deserves a multiple which could be at a slight premium to SBI Life and ICICI Pru Life, but obviously HDFC brand that is has that big advantage of getting premium multiples across the financial spectrum wherever it is present. So I think that premium obviously does not get ascribed to Max. So it will be trading at a discount to HDFC for sure, but I would say it deserves to trade at slight premium to IPRU and SBI.
Presh, of course, you sort of cued me to my next question. You said that HDFC has the comfort of HDFC Life has the comfort of HDFC management. Now at Max also we have the comfort of Axis Bank coming in with this transaction. Jigar, I want to understand from you, because the next trigger now is going to be the deleveraging as far as the pledge position of the promoter is concerned at Max Financial Services. They hold about 17.3% stake when it comes to the parent company, the holding company. Now when we talk about deleveraging of the pledge position at this price that we have right now after this transaction and the valuation, every 1% of stakes sold in the market, how could really that reflect in terms of deleveraging of that pledge position as per your calculation?
Sure, yes. Just before I come there, a very brief point on this holding company discount that keeps being discussed. Now, see, the only reason after the double dividend tax going out is that the minorities in, say, Max Financial cannot vote at the AGM of Max Life, right? And if you have a very strong board, then this particular reason of keeping to, us willing to ascribe a larger and larger number of holding company discount should not ideally arise. So that's point number one. Point number two is that when we look at this promoter entity, which is, I think, in the private domain, I don't think any numbers are ascribed as far as the public domain is concerned. But so look at it from this perspective that, if you go back in, say, September 19 to December 19, that's a very telling period. So in between that time, the price moved up from 400 to 500. And the value of the shares pledged continued to remain at around 3,000 rupees. So they released a bit of a pledge when the price went up. So if you work back with that assumption, and the pledge is 3,000, which the lenders are comfortable with. After that, I think in between the last 6 months or so, the promoter entity has sold something like 900 crores worth of shares, both in Max India and Max Financial. So if you assume a ratio of 2:1 for the value pledged, I'm not exactly sure what the terms of agreement are, but if you assume a 2:1 ratio, then for a 3,000 crore pledge, you have about 1,500 crores of loan that would be outstanding, against which I think 900 crores should have been retired by the stake sale. So 600-700 crores is something that, on a ballpark back of the envelope number one can calculate is what's remaining. So per 1% stake is 300 crores, so a couple of percentage points should do it.
Jigar, Prayesh, Yash, thank you very much for joining in. That's the discussion on Max Financial post the deal with Axis. The stock is at close to 900, so it slipped about 6% from the top of the trading session. But brokerages have ascribed a very high target price. The CLSA is at 1225, Nomura is at 1050, but in the bull case scenario, the target price on Max Financial is at 1250. We'll slip into a break on that note. On the other side, we'll get chatting. In fact, we'll shift our attention to gold and